What's up, Internet Land? Zekimus Prime, aka Zekimus Prime, here with another Transformers first party review. And the figure I'm reviewing today is the Studio Series Cup. Cup is on loan to me from a buddy of mine. He loaned it to me because I was like, that looks super cool. Is it okay if I review it? And he's like, sure. So that's how that worked out, I guess. But I just realized these legs are on different. Oh. No, they're not on different. I literally just now was looking at this figure and noticed that his hips are the same. It doesn't seem to affect anything. I've transformed this a couple times now, but look at this panel on here. It's the same on this side. You can't reverse it just by flipping around like that because that's a completely different detail on it. Bizarre. Anyhow. But so here is Studio Series Cup. He's all right. He's all right. He's a deluxe class figure, and he does a fairly good job of filling out the deluxe class role. I think, he's a good size and whatnot. I think he's most intentionally meant to go with the Studio Series Voyager class Rodimus Prime, who of course is made to be, deluxe class, but Voyager engineering. And that really shows, the engineering difference between these figures is pretty astounding. But they are pretty good size with each other. Cup's head looks giant compared to Hot Rod's, but whatevs. But there he is from the front, there he is from the back. Decent figure. As I was saying, you can tell that they didn't have the same amount of engineering that went into a figure like Hot Rod per se, but I think that this is pretty similar in terms of engineering and whatnot to the deluxe class Blur. But in terms of accessories, he comes with... You gonna stand up or what, buddy? He comes with two accessories. He comes with his rifle or pistol. I think it was meant to be a rifle, but it's really sized to be more of a pistol. It's not a very big rifle. And it's just molded all in one color, and it's sculpted pretty well. It doesn't have any paint on it or whatnot. Has got a big old number 2 right in there. Little bizarre detail. How about that? But yeah, just pegs into with 5mm peg or whatnot. Works out well. And then he's got this accessory, which is molded in the same clear plastic that his windshield is molded out of. And that's his little Energon Dispenser. And that plugs into his hand. And so he can hand out Energon to the baddies and try to convince them not to eat him. This does not store anywhere. Like, the most obvious thing would be like, well, maybe it stores on one of these ports on his waist, but those aren't really ports. Those are hollows so that they can make the features they've molded into him work out well. Again, there's also no place for this to store on him either. So, either keep him in the hand or not at all. He is decently decorated. He's got silver on the underside of this clear plastic, which I think looks really good. The sculpting on the clear plastic really makes that shine really well. At least I think that's... No, that's not clear plastic sculpting. That's sculpting on the blue panel that's underneath that's painted silver. He's got this turquoise paint here. Up here it's light blue plastic and then turquoise paint. Down here it's turquoise plastic and light blue paint. But the color matching is good. His He's got an interesting mix of like ABS plastic and that POM plastic. And it's just kind of a weird mix. Like this panel here is POM and this foot is POM. But like, and I only point that out because the different plastics have different like finishes to them. The finish on POM plastic is always more flat, more of a matte finish than other stuff. He does have light piping, which works just abysmally. Let's see if I can crank a light over here. Like if you put the light right behind his head, it works somewhat. But it's a big piece of clear plastic, and there's enough tint to it that it makes it hard for the light to come through easily. So, anyhow, in terms of articulation, his head is on a ball joint. It'll go back and forth, up and down a little bit, rotates freely. Shoulder goes all the way around, comes out. I'm not sure exactly which way the shoulder goes, if it goes like this or if it goes like this. I think it goes like this. With this, like, you know, slant to the chest and then slant to the shoulders and then slant on the shoulders. I think that looks, aesthetically, that looks better to me. But, like I said, I'm borrowing this. I don't even have the original packaging. And I've been too lazy to get on the internet and actually go look it up because I'm just lazy. What can I say? Bicep swivel. Of course, his arms and legs do completely pop off. So you can replicate that one scene in that one movie where his arms and legs fall off and they get reattached by Hot Rod. So it's definitely something that you can do with this figure. Single joint at the elbow, but it's got a lot of range on it. They've got a little bit of detail in that elbow so that when you bend it, it just doesn't look hollow. And then they're like, no, we just give up. Go the rest of the way on your own. So, yeah, a little bit of gappiness there. Waist joint works just fine. No ab crunch of any kind or whatnot. But it is a Hasbro mainline toy, so. Legs go that far forward, that far back. Goes out for the full Van Damme. Thigh swivel at that peg connection. Single joint at the knee for 90 degrees of bend. No forward back motion on the ankle. Of course, his toe moves for transformation. And you get a decent hinge at the toe. Let's get this guy transformed up. So to transform this guy, you kind of go like feet and then arms and then feet again. But first thing we'll do, take this, pull this out, bend his knee sideways a little bit, plug it back in. You'll see that there's two little divots in that. We were in this lower divot, now we're going to go into the upper divot. And that's kind of where you put that for now. Let's do that to the other leg. Then for the upper body, you want to take this and fold this all out. His head, you're going to want to rotate around 90 degrees. The arms fold down like this. How do I exactly want to do this? So I guess fold down like this, and we'll just fold those into place as we need them. That's what we'll do. We'll just fold them into place as we need them. Bring these up, pull out, and this neck joint. This neck is on this big black panel. That black panel tabs into these wheel wells here, so you kind of got to unpeg that. It doesn't do anything else because it doesn't fold down and doesn't really, I mean, you can fold this up, but it's not supposed to. So you just kind of, it moves ever so slightly so it can clip and unclip from that one position there. We want to take these arms, we do want to bring them around I wasn't 100% sure on that at the moment, but now I am. Then we want to take and bend him here at the waist and just get him going down. There are multiple hinges in here. There's a hinge here, and then there's a hinge down here. You want to make sure that you get this so that it's folded in kind of like that. And then this is going to fold around so that these little tabs fit into the front of his windshield. And then you want to take this guy and tuck it under here. There's a tab right here. Oh, come on, focus. There's a tab right here. And you want to tuck this arm so that this little notch goes onto that tab, like so. And then you want to finish folding him in half like a ferret. These panels will kind of come up and around, and then you'll take this guy, and this peg right here will plug into the fist. Like so. And then from here, you just kind of take this panel here, plug it down. You'll wiggle this little slot into place, and then this little tab into place, and just kind of like line it up and then wiggle it till it goes, and it'll fit and it'll hold quite securely once you get there. And we'll do the same with the other side. Keep in mind this tab here, and then there's this tab here, and then this kind of fits into a hollow space up in here. So that tab, this one comes in and just kind of hangs out inside there, and then you just kind of wiggle that into place and wiggle that into place, tab these little sections together, fold those feet up, and there he is as a Cybertronian pickup truck. And he certainly, hold on a second. But as I was saying, he's fairly accurate to his G1 presentation. Of course, he doesn't transform anything like that, which is good because the G1 transformation was a bit lackluster. But he definitely looks the part better than any of the figures we've had previously. The Titans Return one did a decent job, but not a great job. This one does a great job. It still seems a little small, though. Here he is next to Hot Rod. And I just always imagined Cup being bigger in his alt mode, but I don't know. You can plug his accessories into these little tabs here. There's one, and there is the other. Unfortunately, there's no... I don't know why they didn't make this tab line up properly, like something like that, but you can stick it whichever way you want, I suppose. But yeah, my buddy who I borrowed this from, he's always talking about how he's got no tailgate. So like if you tried to put like a piece of cargo in there and then accelerated it, it would just like slide out the back, which I mean is roughly accurate. That's more or less how inertia works. But Cup, all in all, should I recommend him? If you're making a collection of the Studio Series 86 figures, yeah, he played an important part in the movie, and he would make that collection complete. I'm kind of thinking about getting him for myself because I've got a shelf of Wreckers, but I haven't really jumped on it yet because I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep my shelf of Wreckers. I haven't decided if that's an essential part of my collection. As I sit here, annually I go through and reevaluate my collection and redefine what I need and don't need. And I I don't know if that's a figure. Like as part of a collection, I can recommend him, but like as a standalone figure, like I don't know if I can recommend him on his own merits. I'm not just like, oh yeah, this figure is good enough that you should go out and get it. Like this figure, Hot Rod, is a figure that I can recommend just on the fact of it's a good figure. Like even if you hate Hot Rod, go out and buy this figure because it's an enjoyable figure and it's fun to have. Good transformation and good engineering. Like that's everything that I think that a Hasbro figure should be. And this one, I'm not sure that I can give it that same glowing praise, but I don't hate it either by any stretch of the imagination. And if you're making a collection that requires a cup, I think that this is definitely the best cup that's out there, because the old Generations one doesn't even hardly look like cup, and the Titans Return one kind of got it, but not really. And I think that this one pretty much nails it. So there's my provisional recommendation. But thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic, and I'll catch you on the other side. See ya. Bye. Oh, stay awesome and be good to each other.